right, guys, welcome back to the show. So that was an interesting time, 2017. Saco doing what he knows how to do best. So if you're just tuning in, we have Saco in the building, and we're going to go through your journey in the entertainment industry and how you were able to rise as a compere and a comedian. So it's one thing to be a comedian; it's also another thing to be a compere.
Yes.
So let's talk about those things that sort of influenced you or inspired you to even want to even start the journey.
Okay, so I started comedy back in secondary school in 1999, 2000. So I didn't know I was a funny person. I thought I was this, like, when we started talkative, I just thought I could be the quote disturbing choir rehearsals, story rehearsals. They're trying to be serious, but I'm bringing humor. I didn't see that humor. They saw it as distraction, and so I would just do I was always very, very disturbing. Okay, but so during concert they say you speak well. Oh yeah, go and anchor the program, go and introduce the song, and that's how I started hosting, starting from within. It was later I started to know that all the things I was doing, I was building capacity. Yes, because for you to become a professional in anything you are doing, you should have done it over 10,000 hours. Malcolm Gladwell said that 10,000 hour rule, where the things you're doing now that you think you're wasting time was a building process for me. And so when I discovered that I just love comedy. Anyway, I used to rent the CDs, the Night of 1,000 Laughs. I would go, no CDs, cassettes. I would watch and all these things. And I saw the likes of the Sali Babas, the Omar Baba of this world. And when I realized that this was something I was going to do, I sat down one day and I said, what name do I want people to call me? Yeah. So my first name is Sunday. My other name is Ayodele. My Igbo name is Chukwamadu. And my son is Okundalai. So I'm from Ondo State. My mother is from Delta State, Ibuzo. I speak Igbo very well. I speak Yoruba very well. I also speak in tongues. So, so I wrote down my name that afternoon. And I wrote my name. What name do I want people to call me? Sonny Baba. And I wrote down Saco, S-A-C-O. And that's how I got my name, Saco, S-A-C-O. Okay. Inspired. That's why first, you want to be in the industry, you have to be educated, whether formal or informal. Yeah, it is important that you need to be educated. There are places you get to that your comedy might not work if you're not sound enough, because you need to begin to talk about the trending issues related to that event. You know how it is, Yeah. So I wrote down those names, and that was the acronym, and I started anchoring event for free. I will look out for anywhere to have an event. You have an event in the church, I go meet you. Have you got an MC? Can I anchor it for you for free? I first tell them I'm not coming for money, because once I say we don't have money, I said I just want to anchor a program. And that was how I began to, until I got my first break to go do an event in Ghana. It looked like a dream, because I never imagined, I didn't see it beyond the K2 where I grew up. Yeah. But with time, as I began to, I then got involved into mentorship. I saw a man hosting an event in 2004, hosting a church event, and I said, this man is already living the dream or the life that I want to live. Yeah. And his name is Oli Malam, and I followed him from 2004 to 2008. Everywhere he went. Once I see his picture, I'll go and meet him. I'll sit in the audience, so I'll go and meet him and say, I'm a comedian, can I perform? He said, no, he doesn't know me. But for that 4 years, from that 2004 to 2008, I went to learn presentation skills in an institution. I was building on myself. So by the time he gave me the opportunity in 2008,
you were ready.
I was ready. But guess what? I was ready based on the information that I had. But when he gave me an event for 30,000, because I was used to collecting 5,000 from 2005, to 5,000, 20,000, and then they say, come do comedy in the church for 30,000, June 6, 2008. I wanted to run mad. Because for me, 5,000 to 2,000
was a lot.
Was a lot. So they paid, I was in school then, in University of Ilorin, and then when they sent 30K into my account, I wanted to be sure if it was my money, so I would do 1,000. So in case they say it was a mistake, I could refund it back, because I know how long it takes. So for me, it's been a great journey. I started comedy professionally 1st of October 2005, and to date, I've moved.
Do you think that do you have to be a comedian to be a stand-up, to be a compere?
No, you don't have to be a comedian. You just have courage. You just need to have courage, and you need to be able to engage your audience. It goes beyond comedy. You don't have to be a comedian to be a compere. You don't have to be a compere to become a comedian. Like that. You don't have to. People have said that so many times. There are likes of people that you can count 1, 2, 3. The likes of this IKs of this world, the likes of Joyce Daniels of this world, Oscars of this world, that are not comedians, but the whole high-profile event.
True.
Yes, and comedy has kind of limited some people. People are scared of comedy. Some people are scared of comedy because of embarrassment, or some people going overboard to insult people. But I'm sure they're being informed right now that comedy is supposed to be a relief for people not to make jest of them.
So what was some of the key milestones in your career as a comedian? Can you list some of them and sort of shows that contributor were like, this brought me out?
Okay, one of the things that I said brought me out, one of the events that I think brought me out is hosting an event for Daystar Research Center. Reverend Samadeyemi took me to Ghana and then basically changed how I saw life. Doing events in Daystar, those period where I wasn't even paid, but he gave me platforms, the likes of the Efizi night, and then when I had to go to London, to host the event. I went to Manchester, then I went to America. For me, I celebrate all my milestones because for one small event, most of the biggest events I've ever gotten came from small event. That is not the largest. It's from the small event that you do very well that takes you to another event.
Yes.
So I hosted an event for Reverend Sam at one of an hotel, and then some Ghanaians came, and they liked what I did, and they said, Reverend Sam is coming to Ghana, we're going to come with him. And in spite of all the countries I've gone to, Ghana has been the place where they paid me more.
Wow.
Hallelujah, in dollars. Amen. Charlie, so I became a Ghanaian by the amount that they paid to me. So for me, one of the things I say to people is celebrate every milestone. Because one milestone, one event that you do properly will give you another seven events. Some of them will come immediately, some of them will come 1 week after, some of them will come years after. I did an event in October, somewhere in VI, and just while I was going out, somebody collected my card, and he called me a few days ago. I didn't, how you share your card with people, and then another event that I did that took me to Dubai. I went to host an event in Dubai. Was a wedding that was very rowdy. You know how those weddings, very rowdy, and I was hosting the event. I had likes of big people. I didn't mind. I was just doing my event, and then a girl came to meet me and collected my card. You know how you say, can I get your card? And so in the industry, don't look down on anybody. The security guys, everyone is a connector. They are the gate men. It's scriptural. Most of the people that excel today came in through the people that you thought that didn't matter. And this girl collected my card, and I got a call a few weeks after and says, I'm having my 50th birthday in Dubai, and I'd like you to host my event. All expense paid, visa, everything, and they paid me. Okay, they paid me about $1,000 then, and then 1,000 was about 200 and something.
Right, way back.
A big deal. That was in 2005. Wow. No, 2016, and then when the lady was going to give me part payment in dollars, and she says, I'm sure you don't know where I saw you, and she mentioned the wedding. And that wedding, you know how you do that wedding, sometimes we give ourselves past mark and say, how did I do at this wedding? I did 1 to 10, I think I did 5, 6, but somebody was watching. Someone was seeing the way you were composed.
Yeah.
People see you, and I'm sure you know that. You get to an event and you're seeing this person is not organized. The same way, people make, and that's how I got to Dubai. When one of my proteges, if I told him, Damola, I said, you're going to do Dubai with me, not as a junior colleague. You're going there to host the event with me. And today we've been to Amsterdam together, we've been to South Africa together, we've been to France together, host the event. So for me, every event, every time you show up here, it's an opportunity for somebody to see you.
Definitely.
So also the transition from being a comedian, not everyone can, comedians always feel like because they do comedy, they can get away with being a compere.
Yes.
And they just put the jokes, or sometimes it's not funny to some audience, but you've been able to sort of weave it effortlessly. How have you been able to move from being a comedian to a compere? So
one of the things that changed my life was when I went to the Enterprise Development Center, where at the Lagos Business School, because in my mind, you just get to a level where you just say there's more to this thing. And so I went for a 6-month course, and while we're having conversations with our group and everything, I just said to myself, feedback that I get from some corporate guys is we don't want comedians because some comedians have messed up our MD, embarrassing our MD, so we don't want comedians. And so while in class, one of those days, I just said, instead of calling myself a comedian, can I call myself the compere with a sense of humor? So the comedy is not there, but compare with a sense of humor works. Don't get me wrong. There are places where you get to. I get to the UK. I get to Canada. I was in Canada. I was going to Calgary from Toronto, and I missed my flight. Oh, it wasn't me. The one thing led to the other, and I said I have an event in Calgary. I'm a comedian. As soon as I mentioned I'm a comedian, they said, oh, we need to put you on the flight. And I showed them, I said, I have an event tomorrow. And it changed the story. If I told them I'm a compere, they might not understand the compere. But when I said comedian, oh, you're a comedian, oh my God. It changed the whole narration. But from that point in my life, when I realized that I needed to move to not just being a comedian, to being a compere, I referred myself as a compere. So I've been involved to having rehearsals. I have teachers. that my colleagues that I submit myself to. I have mentors. So it changed the whole narration to say, you know what, you could be a compere and not, just do one-liner. It's called one-liners from the things that you see happening.
Let's talk about your other roles. Outside being compere comedian, you're also an author.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm also interested in the fact that, it can't all be rosy. Have you had events where you're like, oh my God, what did I just say?
Yeah.
Have you had those moments?
Yes, I've had those moments where you just finish and you just say to yourself, I wish I could just flog myself. And then you try a material. Basically, you try a material at the beginning and comedy gives you get your result immediately. Nobody needs to market for you. You get your result to know how you did. You try some jokes, boos, and it goes, or you miss the order of protocol, because another thing that happens is order of protocol as a compere, you can't afford to miss it.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to call at government functions, you can't call the governor at the beginning. When the governor speaks, nobody speaks after. You can't call the president. The president speaks and everybody goes on. Yeah. So those are things I'm learning, but I've mixed it up at a time in my life. And guess what? I'm not the only one. I had a conversation with Auntie Eugene that I've been doing this for 40 years. And she shared with me how she also missed, some settings. So in the job, there are places where you need to just adjust and say, you know what, I've done this mistake. Don't beat yourself. I've hosted events where I did not feel the event. As Marcel was saying, you know how it is. Yeah. You finish and you say, oh my God, Saco, I did very well.
I know.
And it's happened to you also online, where you just say, I should have said this thing. I didn't say it. But the next morning you show up.
And you still do
you do the things you missed yesterday. So it happens generally. You cook jollof rice and you didn't come out like the way it used to come out. Oh, you say, is this jollof or a goosey soup? And you don't know whether it's a goosey soup or
just still manage the whole flow.
But you say to yourself,
All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, there's so many other sides to talk about, how you connect with the audience and some of the lessons you've learned from your journey in the whole experience. So please don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this break. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. And yes, we have Saco in the building. He needs no introduction, and we've been having an amazing time with him.
On air and off air.
It's a full masterclass. if you're a host or a compere, looking to really up your game, and these are some insights that you really, really need to plug into to just really gain the knowledge, because what you see is actually different from the reality.
Exactly.
On ground. Okay, so let's just move on to how you can connect to the audience, because I find that a lot of people, especially compares, have that issue of connecting because the audience is very dynamic. It's very different. Yes. They're diverse audience, the very posh audience, there's the Agbero audience, there's all kinds. So there's different needs. How do you navigate that terrain?
First, one of the things that I say to people that will help you is to find out the audience that you'll be speaking with. If they are the elite, the captain of industries, there are things you have to do, there are topics you have to bring up that can get their attention. If I did that at an event where I started a joke that I usually do at someone, they would just look at me and say, what's this? Immediately I just said to myself, you need to bring up topics that can get their attention. So it could be call and response, it could be bringing up a topic and say, using the host of the event to get their attention. So where you have conversations with them and say, you know what, I just read this string. It's looking up. First, you can even start from the youngest person among the audience, where you have a call and response game. And once those people pick it and it's getting interesting, others will open up, we follow through. But first is your confidence is important. You need to. Do we get scared when we get on stage? Yes, I do. I feel it all the time. Okay, but as soon as you get on stage, you should have mastered the things. Not mastered, you should have gotten the things, the first words you should say. Even though you've gotten the first words, you've written it, but when you get on stage, something might change. Is look into the audience, look into their eyes. Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you. You should have gotten all those things through rehearse. You have a mirror in your house. You can't be a compere and not have a mirror. Practice. I've had mirrors, rehearse, see yourself already before you get on stage. You'd have seen yourself already in that place. It's called the power of imagery, where you see yourself on that stage, achieving the things, achieving it. You should have achieved it even before you get on stage. Things happen. Sound might go off. When sound goes off, we don't pray. What do you do? Okay.
Bad
audience. Oh my God.
We
don't stare at you. But guess what? When you, as a master was saying, you have the opportunity to come back to back. So you look out, when you look at, first start at the beginning, start as formal. and then they don't know you, especially the people that don't know you. Start formal, and then you begin to gradually look for gifts. Another thing that happens is when you come with gifts. I use gift as a bait. You know, I was going to host a retreat somewhere on the island, and they've done different topics from morning to night, and I was going to host the gala night. As I started, people did not even respond, and I said, God help me, I had some cash, and I said, I'm going to give out cash to anybody that responds to this. As soon as I started, and I kept to that promise.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that was all I needed.
Icebreaker.
Oh,
everything.
that was the ice. As I just started, as I gave pam, every other place caught fire, and that was all that I did for that night. Because after that, it just became formal. But the job as a master of ceremony is coming here is to see how you can enter the audience, to make them feel the effect. It's not they feel the effect of you being as a professional anchoring it, but they want to see the humor. They want to see that people laughed. So
people connected with you.
Yes, so it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. You come with gifts. You come with getting prepared, having information about the things you're doing. Because if you don't have information, that's another thing. You begin to just mess it up.
Which brings me to my next question. There are events that you go to that, they were like, you know what, just freestyle it. They don't have a guide, they don't have a program. Maybe the dignitaries, the speakers, the people that are attending, they didn't show up on time. Or maybe it's a wedding, for example.
Yes.
And the couple refused to dance in, right? How do you sustain the momentum of the energy in the room?
One of the things that I shared on my YouTube series on how to anchor weddings and how to anchor corporates, I do that, how to anchor weddings. I just thought about it is, one of the things, the safest thing you should do is don't start an event when the couple is not around, except you have the capacity to hold them for 30 minutes. And some people have that thing. I didn't used to do that, but as I grew older, I realized that you can't keep people for long waiting for the couple. It's not your fault, but you have to go there, start something, engage the audience, have them sing me, because sometimes they are coming. Most times some Nigerians go to an event and they don't eat, and they're expecting that by 2 p.m. the event should have started, and 3 p.m. event hasn't started, and they've not eaten. As master of ceremony, we know that when we're going for events, we eat before but those people don't say, I came here to enjoy myself and eat. So the couple hasn't come, and the instruction from the couple says, until we come, don't serve. And people are just looking, and then you just show up as a master and say, well, listen, gentlemen, we're not letting that the couple is around, and they'll soon be here. So what will you do at this period is engage the audience, is look for the oldest couple in the audience, give them a gift. Can I please know the audience? It happens spontaneously. Another thing happens spontaneously. True. And let me tell you one secret about spontaneity is the things that you feed yourself with that become spontaneous. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It happens spontaneously. It's the information you expose yourself to. What books are you reading? What are the things you are reading? Because the truth is, Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So you get there and then you start something and you say, oh, and you can't even remember where you picked it from. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Somebody's at home. You said something that you never imagined you could say. You had it and you thought it didn't mean. 3 things affect you: the things you listen to, the friends you keep, and what you see. That's why it's important. What you see is important. What you listen to is important. So you get there, you say, it just happened spontaneously. It didn't happen. It was taught somewhere. When the opportunity came, it came out.
Okay.
Yes. So
I know you have so much to say in such a short time, but let's also look at some of the projects you're working on.
Okay.
Upcoming projects that you probably have and your goals for this industry.
Okay. So I am passionate because I enjoyed mentorship. And one of the things that I did from getting to strategic mentorship in my life, I multiplied those things, and now I have, the last time I checked, over 500, 600 proteges spread across the world. I have proteges in Canada, in America, in Ghana. I get the mail all the time because I started teaching online. I started teaching on YouTube how to host event, how to host concert, and people would send me a mail and said, "You just saved me. I'm anchoring my first wedding, and this was video I did 3 years ago." Because for me, I'm passionate about to see if I could enjoy this mentorship and I can get where I am today. My life was a no-no. I'm the firstborn of 9 children, and I know the responsibility that came. I didn't get admission. My younger sister got admission before my younger brother got admission, and then I got to university and I discovered this. And this has taken my mom, when we meet to Canada last year, she went with me to the UK, and now I can take my parents abroad. From doing this, I want to see the same thing multiplied in my proteges. I tell you, it's a lot of work being, so my job is to make sure that proteges, other guys that are ready to connect with values, because people are not really ready. They want it to be, I want to start MC today and voila in 2 years. But guess what? If you submit yourself to mentorship, the thing that it took us 10 years to achieve, you submit yourself. In less than 2-3 years, 4 years, you would have gotten those things.
Nice.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Connecting with my mentor in 2008, and by 2009, 2010, I got my first car. And I've been struggling since 2005. But he began to speak to me, began to make me see possibilities. I didn't go to the UK until 2012. But he's been selling London to me since in my mind. He shared with me the things I need to do, how I need to keep my account statement, how I need to pay my tax, how I need to, and that was how. The first time I applied for the UK.
I know you have a mentorship book.
Yes, I have a mentor. It's out. Okay. So it's called Secrets Entertainers Won't Share With You. And it's basically sharing the things. Because what secret do you have? We have trade secrets, but there are things that should be out to make things life easier for people. We are a product of books. Yeah. We've read books today, and you're speaking and you say, you're a liar. You learned, you got it from somebody, but you were very intentional because you decided to read.
Yes.
Yeah, we are product of mentorship in the organization that we belong to. So for me, that's how I began to, books, videos. A lot of people like to watch videos. So most of the things that I've taught, I had somebody put them up, write them, and then, and then I added other things. I shared, the person that did the forward, my grand mentor, Ali Baba, did the forward about it. And I told him, said, read, I want you to criticize me. Criticize the book, and it is criticism, and it's giving his go ahead. And then we launched the book in 2000 last year, my 40th birthday, and it's out. By the way, it's my second book. The first one is From Crumbs to Riches, how I share the effect of mentorship in the life of MV entertainers. Some people think nobody gets to the top, somebody brings you to the top.
True.
Somebody mentions your name, somebody gives you that platform. So yeah, that's it. And then I have what they call the Compass Hub, where we do retreats on how to be an effective compere. I do the Entertainers Conference, where we come together from different parts of the world to say, people do retreats, corporate organizations do retreats. Can we do retreats for ourselves and see how we can better ourselves?
So mentorship full-time is your thing.
It's my thing.
We're completely out of time, but before we let you leave, just a word for people out there watching that aspire to do what you're doing.
Tips for those who want to build a distinct personality.
Okay, so for me, the thing I'm going to share with you is first, is the fact that you have talent. You were not created on earth without a talent. You have something that the world needs to learn. So you can't just look back and say, I don't have anything. You have something. You have empathy for people. It's a talent. It's not for everybody. Some people don't have empathy. Somebody can be dying and they walked. You know the story of the guy that was dying, and it was just one person that came and picked. Yeah. But people had other things. You said, no, I can't leave this guy like this. Yeah. First thing, there are 3 Ds. First, you need to discover that you have a talent. Discover that you have a talent. You have a talent. I can assure you that you have a talent. The other one is develop your talent. Yeah. Develop that thing that you call talent. Because if you don't develop it, you just look like, oh. And the third one is distribute your talent. When I say distribute your talent, you have the platform. You are the luckiest person on earth right now because you have the platform, social media. We didn't have social media. We had pictures. We had to have pictures of the events we had done. I remember I used to take my pictures to somebody and say, sir, I'm a comedian, sir. See the picture of me and Rugged Man. Those were the pictures I was showing. I know. Because there was no Facebook when we started, 2005. So there was no Facebook. So I had to show them, say, sir, look at it. This is me. I was at Crown Hotels. This is where. But now people want to see what you're doing. The videos you're just seeing now is from my YouTube page. And say, sir, could you check me, Google my name and see what I've done? So develop your talent and distribute your talent. If you're in that church and you think that they're using you, it's because you're useful, that's why they're using you. If you're not useful, nobody, and when I say useful, I mean sexually not using. I don't agree to being sexually molested, but I'm saying using you in the service. You're not being paid what your worth is right now, but if you package the places where you've worked and put it out, they'll pay you.
Nice. Such an invaluable
I'll just stop here.
Well, Saco, thank you so much. And of course, your book. I'm sure if they want to get the book, they can
just send me DM, Spirit of Saco, and then
all of that. We've had such a great time. This is a masterclass.
A full masterclass
that people pay.
In my mind, I'm thinking maybe I should be a comedian too.
No, you can be. I think you'll be a good. I'm sure you'll be a good master. Tolu is.
Oh no,
Tolu is a
princess.
She's our mentor.
Saco is the mentor.
Yeah, she's the mentor.
Saco has
that ran away.
I didn't run away.
That's what happened.
I didn't
I was going to talk
away.
about it. I just.
No, you can't talk about it. I didn't run away.
No, we started working at the time, and then voila, and then I just said, what's happening? I didn't
run away.
My mentorship skills was not effective enough, but I'm glad
maybe
that
she had taken enough.
She has taken enough, yes, and she has not given me royalties. That's maybe why I'm pushing
I
that.
still follow everything Saco does, but I'm constantly.
No, I've not seen the royalties because people come back to say, oh, sir, these things that you learned.
I'm following Saco back to back.
Okay,
We're still getting.
I said I was going to call you out and say, what happened?
I didn't run away, Saco. I know I didn't run away. But anyways, the word of the day says the tragedy in life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach. That's what Benjamin May says. And that's a very interesting thing. You need to have a goal and focus on it. And also, still in line with the certificate, the fake certificates, will leave you with that thought. The government inaugurates committees to combat fake certificates. It's very interesting. It's like the court.
So if you have fake certificates, or you're working in your company, you're shaking one leg.
What exactly are you? Where are we going to?
That's you, but then
don't say anything.
Don't say it. I'm not going to sleep in this. On that note, to wrap up the show.
But I'll be going to Chicago in July.
Our show is not fake.
That's all.
That's all.
I'll be going to Chicago in July. That's all.
Wow. Okay,
Yes, that's all. Relating to the certificate. That's all.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Another show.